Have you ever felt like something invisible is manipulating every detail of your life? That your choices, your pains, and your joys are not mere accidents of fate, but reflections of a silent, relentless, and deeply mysterious force? This force has a name, the law of attraction. And today, you will delve into your deep, dark side, the one that few dare to face. The universe is not just matter and energy. It is vibration, frequency, eternal movement, an immense field where thoughts and emotions are waves that propagate, intertwine, collide, and reflect each other. Everything you think, feel, and imagine creates a vibrational field that resonates in the invisible. This frequency, whether conscious or not, attracts situations, people and events into your life that reflect exactly what you emit. But here's the paradox. We don't always vibrate what we want. Most of the time, we emit waves loaded with fear, doubt, guilt, and insecurity, even without realizing it. And this dark, dense energy is the raw material of your destiny. She shapes her reality with frightening precision. Imagine a calm lake. When you throw a stone, waves form and spread. Now imagine that each negative thought is a heavy stone thrown into this lake. What happens? The waves multiply, cross each other, creating a chaotic pattern that affects everything around it. That's the power of negative energy. Not only does it create a toxic internal environment, it turns your external world into a reflection of that chaos. But what exactly are these thoughts and emotions? The human mind produces thousands of them daily. And most of it is automatic, repetitive, and often self-sabotaging. I am not enough. I'll never make it. I don't deserve to be happy. These phrases, silent, full of pain, echo in the subconscious, which is the true command of your actions and decisions. The subconscious is a gigantic library, where your oldest beliefs, traumas, and invisible programs that direct your behavior are stored. Even though your conscious mind desires change, your subconscious acts as a rigid gatekeeper, keeping you stuck in familiar patterns. Therefore, changing with willpower alone is almost impossible. It requires a deep dive, a reprogramming that goes beyond the surface of your thoughts. In addition to thoughts, emotions are the fuel that accelerates or blocks the manifestation process. Fear, anger, anxiety, and guilt are dense energies that close doors. Joy, gratitude, love, and hope are keys that open invisible paths. But transforming these negative emotions isn't simply about ignoring them or pretending they don't exist. We need to recognize them, understand them, embrace them so that we can transform them into something light, expansive, and positive. In this sense, positive affirmations and visualizations are powerful tools. When you repeat with emotion, "I deserve abundance. I am capable of realizing my dreams," you plant a new seed in the subconscious mind, which little by little begins to accept these truths as real. Visualizing the life you want, feeling the sensations, smells, colors, and emotions associated with that reality, is like programming a map for your brain. However, these practices only work if the subconscious accepts these messages. If there is still a strong belief within you to the contrary, these seeds may never germinate. Therefore, inspired action is essential. Thinking and feeling are not enough. You need to take action, even if it's a small step, even if the path seems unclear. This action must come from intuition, from the inner calling that guides your movement in the physical world. Without this movement, your desires remain as distant dreams, never materializing. But the biggest trap is attachment. You may want something intensely, but holding on to that desire with anxiety, fear, and obsession creates resistance. Detachment is the key to allowing manifestation to occur in the universe's right timing. This doesn't mean giving up, but trusting and making room for the unexpected, often better than you imagine, to enter your life. The manifestation is rarely instantaneous. The universe works in the shadows, preparing you, testing your faith and your alignment. During this hidden time, your mission is to observe your thoughts and emotions, make adjustments, and grow internally. When manifestation finally happens, it is a direct response to your inner journey. You'll start to notice synchronicities, those seemingly random events that make everything feel connected, as if the universe is whispering to you. People appear, doors open, coincidences that are signs. The law of attraction does not choose an area of life. Health, money, relationships, happiness, everything responds to your vibrational frequency. What you think and feel about these aspects will be reflected in your reality. If your mind is filled with fear of scarcity, your financial life will be limited. If you feel unworthy of love, your emotional field will reflect that. Therefore, taking power over your vibration is taking control of your life. It is not an easy path. It takes courage to face your shadows, to break the invisible chains that keep you in the prison of the past. But it is the path to true freedom. Now ask yourself, are you ready to take on that power? To delve into the hidden side of the law of attraction and transform your reality from the inside out? If the answer is yes, follow me on the next part of this journey. You already know that the universe is a vast network of energies and frequencies. But what few people understand is that the biggest battle takes place within yourself, in the darkness of your mind. This battle defines whether you will be the master of your destiny or a victim of circumstances. The human mind is a powerful and dangerous machine. She creates realities and illusions at the same time. In there live invisible entities, the automatic thoughts, the limiting beliefs, the harsh judgments that you don't even realize you have. They are like shadows that project themselves into your perception, distorting reality and blocking your ability to attract what you desire. Have you ever stopped to observe your thoughts carefully? Not those fleeting, quick ones, but those who persist, who return insistently. These are the true owners of your mental programming. They feed on your energy, on your attention. The more you embrace them, the more power they gain. And in turn, they create a vicious cycle. Negative thoughts generate negative emotions, which reinforce more negative thoughts. But it is possible to break this chain. The key is in awareness. When you become aware of these inner shadows, you illuminate them. And light is the only thing that can dispel darkness. Mindfulness, meditation, and self-observation techniques are tools that bring this light. But not everything is so simple. Because the subconscious is treacherous. It works silently, and its ancient programming can sabotage even your most sincere efforts. Therefore, reprogramming the deep mind requires more than positive thoughts. It requires an immersion into the darkest layers of your being. You need to confront your limiting beliefs. Ask yourself, what stories do I tell myself about my life? What versions of the past do I repeat as if they were absolute truths? These stories can be the shackles that prevent your manifestation. But recognizing these narratives is the first step to transforming them. Rewriting your mental script is not a quick process. It is a journey that requires patience, persistence, and, above all, courage. Because facing your inner shadows can be scary. You may feel intense emotions emerging, painful memories resurfacing, doubts and fears growing stronger. But this is all part of the purification process. Every tear, every discomfort, is an energetic cleansing that makes room for light. In addition to inner work, the law of attraction also responds to your actions in the physical world. It is not enough to wish and think positively. You need to take action. And not just any action, but actions aligned with what you really want. These are so-called inspired actions, those that seem to come out of nowhere, driven by a deep intuition. When you act this way, the universe moves to open paths. But be careful, haste is the enemy of demonstration. Anxiety, urgency, and desperation are dense vibrations that block the arrival of what you want. It's a cruel paradox. The more you want, the more you resist. Therefore, patience and detachment are essential virtues. Trust the process, even when everything seems to stand still. In the meantime, work on your inner field. Cultivate gratitude. Gratitude is the energy that raises your vibration and attracts more reasons to be grateful. The daily practice of giving thanks, even for simple things, is a powerful accelerator of manifestation. But beware of the illusion of positive thinking. It's not about ignoring problems or pretending everything is fine. It is facing reality with honesty, but choosing to focus on what is good, what is possible, what can be transformed. This conscious choice changes your frequency and, consequently, your reality. Another little discussed aspect of the law of attraction is unconscious sabotage. Have you ever wondered why, even when everything seems aligned, you fail or miss opportunities? This often happens because your subconscious mind does not accept the new. He prefers the comfort zone, even if it is painful. This internal resistance can manifest itself as procrastination, self-sabotage, fear of success or failure. Recognizing these patterns is critical to moving forward. Tools like EFT, emotional freedom techniques, therapy, and deep self-awareness can help dissolve these blocks. Additionally, your surroundings influence your vibration. Toxic people, negative environments, alarming news, all of these things drain your energy and distract you from your focus. Protect your energy. Create a space of peace and inspiration so your mind can flourish. Remember, the law of attraction is impersonal. She responds to the vibration you emit, without judgment. If you emit fear, fear returns. If you send out love, love comes back. If you send out doubt, doubt returns. Therefore, your responsibility is enormous. You are the conscious creator of your life. And as a creator, you have the power to choose what to vibrate. But for that, discipline and courage are needed. The journey doesn't end when you learn the principles. It starts there. The true master of the law of attraction is the one who knows his shadows, embraces his imperfections, and decides to be light in the midst of darkness. Are you ready to go even deeper? In the next part, we'll explore the mysteries of practical manifestation, the pitfalls of ego, and how to transcend human limitations to create a life that feels magical, but is actually the fruit of your inner power. You have already come a long way. Now it's time to master the art of real manifestation. Manifesting is not magic or luck. It is a complex process that requires total alignment, mind, emotion, action, and spirit. At the heart of this process is the ego, that inner voice that wants to control, doubt, and limit. The ego is the master of traps. It creates doubts, fears, and false urgencies to keep you in the prison of insecurity. But when you learn to recognize the ego, you gain power. The ego is not an enemy, but a guardian that needs to be understood and transmuted. You need to transcend the ego to access a state of pure presence, where desire becomes alignment. In this state, you stop fighting reality and start flowing with it. You stop trying to control and start allowing. This conscious surrender is the key to opening the doors of the universe. When you allow, the universe responds. But allowing does not mean passivity. It is a state of serene alertness, an active confidence. You keep acting, but without internal resistance. This is the authentic manifestation. Another fundamental point is the clarity of desire. The universe does not respond to confusing requests. The clearer and more specific you are, the easier it will be for the universe to prepare the manifestation. But be careful with rigidity. Be specific, but flexible. Make room for the unexpected, for what might be even better than you imagined. Now, let's talk about the power of intention. Intention is the force that directs your energy. It is the concentrated focus of your being. When you act with intention, everything takes on purpose. Even challenges become opportunities. Finally, a grim warning. The law of attraction can be a double-edged sword. If you vibrate negativity, it will respond in kind. Therefore, constant self-examination is vital. Review your thoughts, your emotions, your actions. Be aware of the shadows that still inhabit your interior. Transforming your life is an ongoing journey. But the reward is liberating. You can create a reality where the impossible becomes possible. Where the darkest dreams manifest in light. This is the promise of the law of attraction. You've already taken the first steps. Now choose to walk into the darkness with courage, or return to the safe light of ignorance. The decision is yours.